When you hear no, is that the end of the conversation or is that a start of the second conversation?
Please welcome James Clear.
Let's go leadership focused. What are the must-have qualities that you'd advise a senior leader to say, I got to have these things for the leaders on my team?
Must-have qualities in the person you're going to hire?
Yeah, the people you're going to hire.
A lot of top performers in different areas, they have incredibly high agency. And the way that I would describe that is when you are told that something can't be done or something is difficult or something is unlikely, a lot of people will receive that feedback and be like, okay, I guess we can't do that. Like, let's try to find something else. And then other people will hear that and it will start a story or a conversation in their head where they're like, okay, but what would it look like if we could figure that out? And the person who starts from that place, like I think I annoy people sometimes, but I'm like very like that. And it's fun to me you're like, well, okay, I know that, but like, I know you're saying it doesn't usually work like that, but I'm pretty sure there isn't a good reason why it can't. And so like, let's figure that out. And I like working with people like that because then they're like very interesting problem solvers. So when you hear no, is that the end of the conversation or is that a start of the second conversation? I think that's a nice little dividing line.
One of the things you wrote recently that I loved is I think the world is full of people who love to, I don't know the right word, but maybe hate on others or be pessimist. And the world is built by optimists. And you said we should be people who champion good ideas. And I think that is a great maxim for life, as opposed to like wanting to hate on something or be oh, that will never work, or that doesn't happen that way, or we already tried that thing, that type of mentality. I'd love to hear more of your overall philosophy on why we should champion good ideas.
Well, as you said, usually it's the optimists who win. They're not always right. The pessimists aren't always right either. But you need to bet on something, bet on a relationship, bet on a business, bet on something. You need to invest yourself in something in order to be exposed to the potential reward of it. So being optimistic about something, going all in on it, or at least giving part of your life to it, is required for you to get the outcome. So that's just if you're just pessimistic about things and shoot every opportunity down, then you don't have any exposure to the upside. Now, you may have less risk, so to speak, but the real risk there is that you never engage with anything and then you sacrifice your potential of what you could be. So there's risk either way, and I think the optimists ultimately end up with the rewards. This is another reason to have a lot of shots on goal, though, because you can't necessarily guarantee that you're going to win any individual time. Yep. So if you structure it in a way where you have a lot of attempts yep. and you continue to bet on things and be optimistic, eventually you can get the upside. Okay, so that's one reason. Second thing is, this is kind of a pet peeve of mine, but like some people are problem solvers and other people are problem adders. So you come to somebody with an idea and some people immediately they start thinking about what can I do to contribute to this? How can we figure that out? How can we wrestle with reality and make this work? And then other people spend all their time telling you about why it won't work or why it's not a good idea. The first thing they see is not the opportunity of the idea, but all the pitfalls that could come in the future. And my thing is like, listen, I will wrestle with reality. It's just like, at what point do you need to do that? So in the beginning, we're trying to come up with ideas that are interesting, useful, valuable, actionable. And then like at that point, your job is not to be your own bottleneck. Early on in the process, like your job is to just come up with like, what would the magical outcome be? What would the awesome outcome be? Let's start there and then work backwards from magic, And as you start that process of working backwards from magic and what that amazing outcome would be, you're forced into solving problems that arise along the way. But if you do it in that direction, then you only have to solve the problems that actually exist, that you actually face. If you start by generating a bunch of problems that could potentially happen, now you're solving problems and thinking about things that you may not even have to deal with. And so would you rather be more prepared in some cases for things that won't actually happen, or would you rather be less prepared and then deal with the problems that arise along the way? And I think a lot of that is just personality. Like some people's personalities are, they would rather worry about everything that could possibly happen and feel like they can prepare for as much as possible than to deal with problems in the moment. And I think entrepreneurs are in this interesting situation where ultimately entrepreneurship boils down to, do I trust myself to figure it out? Because there is no playbook. Everybody's business is different. Everybody's going through this process without, really knowing exactly what's going to come next. But if you trust yourself to figure it out, then you can just face the problems as they arise, and then you kind of work your way through it. And eventually you build up this confidence where you're like, yeah, like I can handle that.
What are some like traits or, something that you do to kind of like sharpen your ability to add value to yourself?
It's a good question. I think having time to think is a really important part of my process. If you're busy the whole time, if you're so busy that you can't be thoughtful, that you can't sit down and like try to look at your business from outside and above, it's really hard to have a better strategy because you're just busy getting the work done. So I need at least an hour a week, and preferably more than that, to sit and just think about the business and try to look at it from a high level. That usually leads to me discovering where I'm useful and where I'm needed and where I'm not, and what I can kind of offload to other people. I have, I kind of made a point earlier about talking about how small my team is, but really I do have a lot of employees. They're just partners. So I have a book agent, I have a speaking agent, and the speaking agency has a bunch of salespeople on that staff. So like all the requests that I get go to them. They just happen to be a W-2 for a different company, right? So there is like a big business happening there, but I have very strategically done that because I don't want to spend time doing one-on-ones, talking about promotions or salaries, dealing with HR problems, filing payroll. I don't want to spend any time doing that stuff because to me, it's all time that isn't any actual work. Like it's stuff that has to happen for the business to run, but it's not me shipping a new book. It's not me sharing a new newsletter. There's no product that got created because of the effort I put in there. So my thinking is, all right, I'd rather partner with other companies, maybe give up a little bit more of the upside. Like maybe they get paid a little bit more than what I would pay them internally, but I don't have to spend any time doing all those other things. And so all of those hours that I just saved on management and overhead can now go into creating the next thing. And it's way more valuable for me to create another best-selling book or to add another 1,000 people to the newsletter than it is for me to spend that time, managing somebody so that I can save, say, 25 to 50 grand a year that I would otherwise pay to, the other company to manage them. So I think it's carving out time to think about the business from a high level and then trying to identify what are the areas that I can cut out or offload to other businesses or partners and spend my time only on the things that deliver the most value. There's another question that I like to ask sometimes. I did this with my wife's job one time and she's like, just stop it. And she spent so much of her time in meetings. Like there was just, so much of her day was spent that way. And I was like, look, she ran large events. She worked for a university and she would organize like commencement or graduation and, stuff like that. And I was like, okay, but what if there was a way to run graduation and to get all the vendors there, do all the things you need to do, but not have to be in these meetings all the time? She's like, well, that's not how it works. And I was like, okay, but what if it could? And I do that kind of thing a lot with my business where I'm like, what is the outcome we're actually trying to get? Like in that case, what we actually want is a really seamless graduation experience for 4,000 guests. That's what we're actually trying to get to. If there was a way to do that and not have any meetings, then we should do that. Like that, the meetings are not the thing that we're trying to create. That's not the end product. And so I do that over and over again with my business. Like, what is the end result that we're trying to build? What are all these middle steps? And can we cut any of them out? And so there's just like a lot of that over and over again.
One more, Liam.
Yeah, so back to your comment about it's important to know what season of your life you're in different seasons. So my experience has been that the season tends to change out there before it changes in my own head.
Yeah. So
any advice about making that transition a little bit more pain-free?
Yeah, it does happen out there first, I think. I know that for myself. Like I feel like, so 2 examples. When I started my business, it took me probably 18 months to learn how to manage myself. So, I'm working from home. Nobody's expecting anything of me. Now I get to choose what hours I work. And it took me like a year and a half to figure that out.
Hey, everyone. I am Ryan Hawk, host of The Learning Leader Show and owner of this YouTube channel. I just learned a fascinating stat, and that is 95% of people who view our videos are not yet subscribed. And so If you'd like to ensure you're seeing all of the amazing interviews we're going to do, and we have some good ones coming up, then smash that subscribe button. I know everyone says that, but it's critical to ensure you're seeing what we have coming up. So I thank you for viewing, and I look forward to you being a part of this learning leader journey moving forward. Thank you so much.